Hello, and welcome to my kingdom. Happy new month of March. So, the Lord has been really good in 2023. It's been a testimony after a testimony, and it's amazing. So, I just want to share something, and it might help somebody. It's not always for everybody, but it's always for somebody. So what happened was the last week of 2023, I did, like everybody else, end of year fasting, personal fasting, and so the other one was on a Tuesday and a Thursday and a Saturday, the 31st. So it was supposed to be like that. And then now when it was on Wednesday, it just dawned on me that okay, so on Friday we always have like a corporate fast in my church, and I was like, okay, so it's gonna be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I was like, cool. So I'm just going to do like an Easter fast. But then I just had in my spirit that I'm supposed to do a water fast, which is like 7 days, and I was like, oh my God, that's gonna be too long. Well, I was excited, but then what I didn't hear very well was the timing. I was wrong, but not too wrong, but let me tell you. So what happened was that I ended up, instead of doing a Thursday fast, I skipped Thursday, and then I went straight to Friday. I started my water fast, and then on the fourth day, so which was probably on the second, somewhere there on the second, because I was supposed to finish my fast on the 5th, so now it was on the fourth day, probably the second. But the Lord said to me, I have to finish on the ninth day, and I'm like, but that'll be on the 7th. And then I was like, oh my God, it's on the 7th. So does that mean it was the 7 days water fast from the first? And I was like, right, okay, I didn't get that right, but it's okay. Then I continued, and then it was a 9 days water fast, and I can promise you from that time it's been hip and happening. So during my fast in that December, the Lord gave me a revelation of a pregnant woman. Like when you get a downloaded message, he was like, you have to be like a pregnant woman. A pregnant woman doesn't just eat anything, doesn't just go anywhere. And then he gave me like an example of Elizabeth when she had to hide for like 5 months and all that. And I remember when I was leading, it's the same prayer point he gave me when I was leading a prayer in church the first Sunday. It was me who was leading a prayer, and I gave that as a prayer point that we have to be like pregnant women. And I said, when I said the prayer point, I was like, okay, this is from the Holy Spirit, let me just say it. And I shared it with people at church, but it was for me, but now I had to share with them. So as a pregnant woman, you can't just be eating anything, you can't just be going anywhere, you can't just be laying in any position or just doing anything, or just showing anything. You choose what to do and the speed and all that. So what happened was, I remember that word was so engraved in my mind with that as a pregnant woman, and then I started to imagine like how really a pregnant woman would be in situations. The fact that she will isolate herself, she will be prepared, she will always have the bags packed for the journey when that time comes. So I started just to go through that message, and I was like, wow, this is such a beautiful download. And what happened was, on the 1st, we go to church on 31st, come back in the morning of the 1st, go to bed, and wake up around 1 p.m. and I wake up to this message from a number that I don't know. But when I read the message, I knew exactly where it was from. It was from a sister from church, and she was addressing something which I could say it made sense. From her point of view, and because I'm a pregnant woman, remember, I didn't want to be just consuming whatever she was saying, and I didn't want to be fighting in case she kicks my stomach and then I have miscarriage. I apologized, and the more I apologize, it's like she would send another statement, and then until, you know, when you're on fasting, it's like you are very sensitive, you can sense. And then I ended up sensing, I'm like, nah, there is more to this than the issue that she raised. Because I was like, okay, the issue just that she raised, it wasn't a big deal. I could say, I wouldn't say it wasn't a serious thing, because obviously when people address something, it means it didn't feel right to them. So what I did was to apologize, and yes, I meant it. But then she kept on being disrespectful. She went on to being super rude. When she addressed it first, she was rude, but I thought, okay, I know where she's coming from, so probably she thought I was gonna come for her, but I didn't. I apologized. So now she kept on trying to come for me, and I didn't. I kept on apologizing until at some point I had a voice say to me, leave that phone, don't respond to her. And then as soon as I put my phone down, I just felt in my spirit, I need to kneel down and repent to the Lord, to the Father. And I literally went on the floor. I was on bed because I was just woke up. I went on the floor, I knelt down, I repented, I asked for forgiveness for her father, and I asked that she forgives me, because I wasn't aware of that, what she accused me of doing. And you know, after that, I saw her message and I never responded, and I deleted that message. Like, I deleted the whole chat, including her number, because one, we're not so close, we're not friends anyway, so there was no reason that I keep that message. And I realized that if I keep that message and keep reading those things, my flesh, because really my flesh if I wasn't on fasting, probably my flesh, knowing myself sometimes, I was gonna tell her some stuff, like real stuff. But then I was like, you know what, it's not my place, and I'm pregnant. I can't be talking about this issue. Like, it's not in my league. None. I'm not going to go for that. I have bigger goals for the year. I am pregnant of bigger things, and I can't let such an issue mess me up. And that's exactly what I did. I ignored her, deleted the number, deleted the conversation. Because now imagine if I started to go around telling everybody about it, showing it to people, or even going to my pastor. If I was those people who like to go to Papa all the time, I probably could have gone and showed the pastor, and then it was gonna be a big deal. And I was like, no honey, we pregnant here. We are not about to miscarry because of some silly games. And tell you what, when I was on my knees repenting, and I felt so bad. I don't want to lie, I felt so horrible. Like, I felt so bad. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been hurting someone and I wasn't aware. And so in the midst of the repentance prayer, and you know, there's that guilt, you know, that okay, I know the Father forgave me, but then there's this thing that will still be eating you up. And then when I was still feeling that, and then the Father said to me, it was no longer her typing. And I was like, what? But it was her. And then the Father was like to me, no, it was the enemy, because you are pregnant, and he wanted you to take that energy and start to, you know, because I could have really thrown some punches towards this lady, because there's some stuff I could have just, if you come for me without me calling you honey, I'm gonna come for you with everything. But I didn't, because especially I was so excited, because when the Father reminded me that you are pregnant, it was no longer her typing. She was just a vessel that was being used by the enemy. I was like, oh my goodness. It was like something just dawned on me. I was like, oh my God. So I was really excited that I didn't like go far with her. I just apologized, and you know, I left it. I just gave her some like few pointers that were real, like, okay, you need to get this straight. And I was like, okay, let me get out of there. So this is from that day. It was the first. I let it go, deleted the messages, forgot about it. Then on the 11th already, I received my first miracle that I received something that I never prayed about. Ever. I didn't even believe. I was so shocked to an extent that my day felt like it wasn't such a good day. On the 18th, I received it. I received something again, big. All these testimonies are going to be detailed as time goes by. And then on the 23rd, I received something that I've been praying for the past, since before COVID. I received it. And then on the 23rd of January. And then on was it on the 31st of Jan? I received something again that I've been praying about it since COVID, because it's something so big. I had asked the Father that if I'm still going to, that thing that, oh my goodness, as soon as I get this, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show that auntie, I'm gonna show that uncle, I'm gonna show that friend, I'm gonna show that ex that walked out of my life that I've made it. I asked the Father that as soon as I receive these things, He mustn't give it to me until I'm ready to receive it, where really I could be getting these things and I don't care who knows I have it or who doesn't. And I don't have to rub it in there, to be like, oh, I've made it, look, I've made it, you walked out of my life, you said this about me, you did this about me. I mean, my name is Cindy, and if I'm walking on the street and somebody is calling Precious, I'm not going to turn my head, because, honey, I'm no Precious. I'm Cindy. You're going to be out here calling Purity, and then I'm turning, because I'm not Purity. I'm Cindy. So, I'm telling you this to say that, and in Feb already, today is the 28th, I got another miracle. Which day again? I think in Feb only I've gotten also 3 miracles. One of the things is that in December, I've been praying one in December. I asked the Father for this something. I just wrote it casually, just writing something. And I just, I think it was the 2nd week of Feb, I received it. And so around, I think the 15th, and then I closed it. Today's the 28th, I got another one. So it's like, those things that I'm pregnant. I know that I'm pregnant, so everything that I'm doing, I'm careful. Careful, always careful, because I'm pregnant. So I had to share this with somebody to say, it doesn't matter who says what. You are Cindy. You are not King David. If they call King David, I'm not going to turn. If they call Ryan, I'm not Ryan. I'm Cindy. So if they say things that you're not, don't waste your energy, because the moment you release your energy to respond to them, you're wasting yourself. You're taking your positive energy to respond to negativity. You're messing up with your miracle. You're messing up with your baby. That's a healthy baby that is in your stomach. So you have to maintain a healthy environment. It doesn't matter who they are, honey. If they're unhealthy, they are unhealthy. And sometimes, like Elizabeth, you just gotta hide. Just keep quiet. Because if you're gonna tell a friend, your friend has a friend who's probably diabolic. Understand? So I just had to share this because somebody might be there, and it always feels good when you give people the peace of your mind. But then what are you left with if you're gonna be giving the peace all the time, breaking your peace, you're giving it away, then you're gonna be left empty. So that's what happens. The devil is just using these folks as vessels. All you have to do is to travel in the place of prayer, pray for yourself, and just be in your space. Be in your space. Literally be selfish with your space. Because regardless, people can be in the house of the Lord. The devil can use any vessel that avails itself. Because if somebody can have just a little jealous, or just a little gossip, or just that little, the devil can use that as a door, and then at the end of the day it becomes something big. And yeah, so I'm just glad that I didn't give that lady a piece of my mind. And when the Lord reminded me, like, my daughter, because you are pregnant, I was like, wow, I'm glad I did not entertain her. Like, very glad. And even today, I'm like, every time when something good happens, I'm like, imagine if I gave her a piece of my mind, because it was no longer her that I was going to be talking to. It was the enemy. Because the Father made it clearly to me that it was no longer her texting. Not that she's a demon, but the devil used her. She was now a vessel. Because there's no way somebody's going to be, I'm sorry, and you're still going on and on and on and on and on. And I ended up, like, okay, giving her 3 or 4 points that were real stuff. And I'm like, get off my phone. And then I went on my knees, I repented, and as I was still beating myself up for it, the Lord had to make it clear to me that it was no longer her that was talking to me, it was the enemy. And I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't waste my time going back and forth with that beast, because he's a defeated foe. So no, I said, no honey, I will not participate. That's exactly what you have to tell the enemy. If you are pregnant like me this year, do not participate. You can't be pregnant and out here playing netball or playing rugby. Like, that's a dangerous sport. Sit down. Be in your own space. Be like Elizabeth. Close yourself inside. Be still. Work on you. Work on stuff. Go do your fastings. Do your prayers. Do your time with God. And soon enough you'll give birth. I've been giving birth, like, in January I gave birth to triplets, and in Feb I've already given birth to triplets, and here comes March, and honey, we're still going forward with the 7 days water fast. It's something that was birthed when I was in that season, that okay, 7 days water fast, to just open the womb of the month. And you can't be here opening the wombs and you're busy using your words, using your minds, cussing out on people, giving people a piece of your mind, thinking everybody hates you, thinking everybody's jealous of you. Like, no. Pregnant women are classy people. Classy. You are carrying something precious. Therefore, you have to protect it with everything that you have. Protect your baby, because that baby is big. You see him here or her here, that's how big that baby is. And therefore, start walking, living, doing like the person that's carrying somebody big, because you are carrying something really huge. Because we are Christians, honey. We aren't born to be poor. We aren't born to suffer. We are born to dominate. Dominion. Subdue, multiply. That's what we're born to do. Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna love and leave you. Bye bye.